What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Sad day in boxing. Sad day in boxing. You have Olympic gold medalist, 6th division world champion, Mexican-American superstar boxer, Oscar the Golden Boy De La Hoya. 39 wins, 6 losses, no draw, 30 wins by way of knockout. Twice in his career he was knocked out. Stands about 5'10" with a 73-inch arm reach. Oscar De La Hoya, last time we saw him in the ring, he quit on a stool. That was December of 2008 when he fought legendary 8th division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Oscar De La Hoya is now the founder of Golden Boy Promotions. And Oscar De La Hoya has turned into a cheerleader. Oscar De La Hoya has now, what Oscar De La Hoya has done, he has put a stain on his legacy because of all the antics, all the things he's done after he retired from the sport of boxing. He's being remembered for these antics and not for the fighter he was in the ring, a legend in the ring. And he's not being remembered for that. He's being remembered for the antics, all of the cases against him, the fishnets, rehab, all of these things. Oscar De La Hoya is being remembered now for these things. The longer you stay in the spotlight, the more people see who you are. Oscar De La Hoya, who has an extensive rap sheet throughout his career when he was a professional, decides that we always understood this. Oscar De La Hoya was never fully embraced by the true Mexican fan base, right? But he was such a great fighter. Remember, the Mexican fan base gave him a lot of slack because he used to wear the American/Mexico shorts. And he was never considered a full-fledged Mexican, right? They never truly accepted Oscar De La Hoya. They just didn't. And he thrived, and he wanted that attention. He got a lot of slack when he beat Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. And people said that he was old, right? And Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. was, I think, about 33 years of age, something of that magnitude, right? So he wasn't old. But nonetheless, Oscar De La Hoya, as he should, is playing to the Latino fan base, right? Because he wants to be received by them, right? He wants to be accepted. And so Oscar De La Hoya, who is never truly embraced and accepted, is now cheerleading, high-fiving, and chest-bumping another Latino fighter for ducking. And essentially for fair, because, again, as I tell you guys, they don't want the reign of the black fighters, African-American fighters, to continue the dominance in the sport of boxing. Regardless of how they win, there's always an issue when it comes to the black American boxers. Always. It is always there. When Deontay Wilder was knocking people out, he can't box. He has no skills. All he has is one punch, is the right hand, right? When Floyd Mayweather was dominating, he's boring and too defensive-minded. When Sugar Ray Leonard was dominating, he think he's born with a silver spoon. He ain't cut from that cloth. He ain't a tough guy. Right? There's always something. When Roy Jones was dominating, Roy Jones is dominating against cab drivers, local firefighters, and police officers. When Andre Ward is dominating, Andre Ward is not fighting the best fighters in the world. He's boring. He don't sell. He's not a draw. Right? There is always an asterisk placed by the black fighter. The goalpost is always moved. Then you get guys like Terrence Crawford, who knock people out and can box, but everybody loves to poke holes in his resume. But look at his resume. He didn't fight nobody. So Oscar De La Hoya is now claiming that undefeated 2-division champion, former undisputed lightweight, former WBC junior welterweight champion, is just simply a runner, and Devin the Dream Haney, superstar boxer. When Devin Haney dominates Oscar's fighters, dominated Jorge Linares, they said Jorge Linares was old. Dominated Yuriorkis Gamboa, Yuriorkis Gamboa was old. Dominated Regis Prograis, oh, well, he gained 15 pounds. He was too big. He wasn't running, wasn't moving around the ring. Showed heart, grit, and determination against a cheater and Oscar De La Hoya's fighter who came in 3.5 pounds overweight, unprofessional, and tested positive for performance enhancers, got suspended, and the fight got overturned with Ryan Garcia, right? Devin wasn't running in that fight. He got dropped 3 times, kept getting up, and kept coming. He didn't run. It wasn't until he found out that Ryan Garcia cheated when the fight was over that the dust got kicked up. He didn't run against Jorge Linares. He didn't run against Regis Prograis. He didn't run against Vasyl Lomachenko. But when he beat Lomachenko, everybody said, well, he really lost that fight. There's always an asterisk by it. Either he's a boxer. When he boxes, he's a runner. When he stands in the pocket, he really lost. They always trying to find a way to taint the accomplishments of Devin Haney or any black fighter for that matter. But what they don't tell you is, so Oscar is praising 2-division world champion, and I'm going to say star boxer, not superstar, because the numbers don't reflect superstar, since we want to be technical, right? And Teofimo Lopez, who's a unified lightweight champion, WBO reigning junior welterweight champion, who's claiming to be 2-division undisputed champion, and didn't accomplish either one of those. Took a loss against his IBF mandatory that came out of Australia in George Kambosos. Devin Haney goes to Australia and beat Kambosos twice on his soil for undisputed. Easy. Teo gets dropped by Kambosos and loses in his backyard to Kambosos. But Kambosos wasn't really that guy. Kambosos really wasn't that good. Devin Haney didn't run against Kambosos. Stood in the pocket, boxed him, used his jab. When did he run against Lomachenko? He didn't, right? Here's the facts. Teofimo Lopez, who is 22 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 13 wins by way of knockout, just ducked Devin Haney. And Oscar is praising him, talking about, thank you for not fighting the runner. What he's really saying, code word, is thank you for not taking another L to these black fighters that are more versatile than us. That's the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is they try to put these asterisks by the black fighters because they're not versatile enough to deal with it. They can't box like Devin Haney. They don't have the option. It's one-dimensional. And when they do have the option, they are an exception. They are an anomaly. They are considered great. Like the late, great, legendary Salvador Sanchez. Like Caleb Plant, who's a Caucasian fighter. And people say, oh, he got black in him because he got rhythmic and perpetual motion like the late, great, legendary Kurt Anderson say, a.k.a. Kurt Sugar. When a non-black fighter or non-black athlete has any type of rhythmic or perpetual motion, they are considered an anomaly. They are above all. They are a shocker to the world. Black fighters, black athletes don't have that problem. We are dime a dozen because it's our genes. So to try to put an asterisk by, oh, he's a runner. But what Oscar De La Hoya is praising Teofimo Lopez, saying he's a runner. But did Oscar tell you what he did against Tito Trinidad? Is Oscar telling you what he did against Tito Trinidad? When Trinidad said all Oscar De La Hoya did was run, and Oscar said, I would have been a fool to stand in front of him? Oh, y'all forgot about that. See, that was September of 99. See, that was 26 years ago. And Tito Trinidad won that fight. And many people thought Oscar won the fight. But he didn't get the nod because he was running. And Oscar's mad that fighters like Devin Haney, who just beat Jose Ramirez, can do what he did against Tito Trinidad, but get the win, and he got the loss. He didn't get the win because, see, the judges said, oh, Oscar was running. Now look at the last 3 rounds. How many punches Oscar threw in the last 3 rounds? Not many. Not very many. On his toes boxing. Scared of Trinidad's power. Not wanting to engage. And Oscar lost the fight and begged Trinidad to get the rematch. And Trinidad said no. For what? All you did was run. See, Oscar wanted the credit for being a pure boxer. Look at the post-fight interview he did. When he said, I put on a beautiful boxing performance. It was a beautiful boxing performance I put on. I didn't get credit for the beautiful boxing performance I put on. That's what he said. I put on a beautiful boxing performance. And I didn't get the credit. That's what he said. That was a beautiful boxing performance. I thought I won the fight. They didn't give me the credit. That's what Oscar said in the ring after the fight was over. Because he thought he won the fight. But he didn't get the nod. Right? Or I put on a boxing class, a master class boxing performance. But I thought you said when black fighters do it is running, Oscar. So now he's praising a duck. Listen what Oscar said about the Trinidad fight at the end.
Up in the last 3 rounds, you know, they said that I boxed too much. And what the fuck? I boxed too much. You started boxing. That was the game plan. Exactly.
Wait a minute. That was the game plan. You heard him with Mike Tyson. Listen.
Up in the last 3 rounds, you know, they said that I boxed too much. And what the fuck? I boxed too much. You started boxing. That was the game plan. Exactly.
He started boxing. I want y'all to see Oscar De La Hoya in the last round with Trinidad, how he was moving around the ring. But Devin Haney is a runner? We know what it is. Please stop the reign of the black fighters beating the Latino fighters. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.